In this lecture, we are moving to step 3 of building a privacy program governance framework. And step 3 concerns creating a strategy. We will start here with what is a strategy. We will compare that with what is a privacy strategy. We will look at ISACA's 5 components of a privacy strategy. ISACA is an acronym for the Information Systems Auditing and Control Association. We will then discuss the fact that privacy is a team sport and end with some final miscellaneous notes. Again, here is our roadmap. Again, this outlines our path toward creating a privacy program governance framework. We are now in step 3, which is creating a strategy. This lecture and the next 2 all work towards achieving step 3. The next 2 lectures are identifying stakeholders and building consensus and conducting workshops. So what is a strategy? And this is a strategy with a little privacy twist to it. So the type of strategy that we're referring to here is a high-level plan that outlines an organization's approach to managing and protecting personal data. We can also think of it as a blueprint for implementing priorities and measures across the organization. Now, because strategies are going to be completely unique to every organization, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on drafting a strategy because what we might put here would be very different than what you might do in your organization. And so the main takeaway from step 3 here, creating a strategy, is just understanding from a conceptual point of view, what is a strategy, what is a privacy strategy, and what are the different stages and components of that. For the exam, you're not going to need to write a strategy, but you should be able to identify, again, just conceptually what the main points are. You should be able to define what a strategy is, identify the different components, and so forth. With that said, what is a privacy strategy? Well, a privacy strategy specifically is going to be how we communicate and support the program's mission and vision. Again, ISACA is an acronym for Information Systems Audit and Control Association. There are 5 components for a privacy strategy. They are data, people, processes, technology, and rules. Data should be very clear. We want to know what data we're protecting. As far as people goes, who are the different stakeholders that need to be involved in privacy governance? When it comes to processes, we want to know what the business processes are. How is data collected? How is it processed? Where is it stored? How is it protected? With regards to technology, we're thinking about the technology that's being used to collect, process, maintain, and safeguard data. And then finally, with regards to rules, we're thinking about the laws, regulations, and policies for our applicable jurisdictions. One thing that is definitely going to be hammered into your head throughout this entire course is the fact that privacy is a team sport. You are going to see the word stakeholder so often that you are likely going to have nightmares about it. And so just know that throughout every domain, a lot of attention is going to be paid towards, hey, who do you need to involve? Who do you need to talk to? Stakeholder, 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 stakeholder. You're going to see that all over the place, so just get used to it. And there's good reason for that. Privacy is interdisciplinary, and in order to build support for a program, in order to appropriately implement our program, we really need everyone's buy-in. If we have one office that's doing everything appropriately, that's writing great policy, has a fantastic strategy, mission and vision statements, but nobody outside of our office cares or wants to implement our policies, then everything that we're doing is for naught. And so there's good reason that a lot of attention is paid to identifying stakeholders, communicating with them, and getting their buy-in. A lot of what we're doing from a privacy perspective is changing the organization's mindset and perspective. A lot of offices are likely to see privacy compliance as an obstacle to carrying out their businesses or office's mission. Therefore, we really need to get management's buy-in. We need their buy-in not only for funding, for personnel and other resources, but also for privacy-enhancing technologies and for training and awareness. Remember, we're looking at creating new cultural norms throughout the organization, and that requires training and awareness. If you are working at an organization that is primarily selling a product or service, then that sales team is likely going to have a lot of sensitive PII, and you're going to want to work closely with them to make sure that that PII is protected. Similarly, every organization is going to have developers developing tools and websites, etc. We're going to have developers that are engineering data pipelines. And we're also going to have developers or auditors or cybersecurity folks that are implementing privacy and security controls. And therefore, we want to work very closely with our developing team. The PBDD here, hopefully that triggered a reminder. PBDD is privacy by design and default. When we combine the design and default, we get PBDD. Final notes, as far as crafting a strategy goes, there is no one-size-fits-all approach, which is why we're not going to spend a lot of time on actually going through all of the different steps of creating a strategy here. Every organization is different, and remember that we cannot eliminate or avoid all risks. We can mitigate and minimize them, and that's one of the primary responsibilities of a privacy professional. In this lecture, we started our discussion on creating a strategy. Remember that a strategy with a privacy or data protection twist is a high-level plan that outlines an organization's approach to managing and protecting personal data. It is a blueprint for implementing priorities and measures across the organization. A privacy strategy tells us how to communicate and support the program's mission and vision. Remember that ISACA's 5 components of a privacy strategy include data, people, processes, technology, and rules. Remember that privacy is a team sport. We need everyone's buy-in. We need to understand that one of our major responsibilities is changing the organization's mindset and perspective concerning privacy. As far as specific business functions to work with, we're going to consider them all. But particularly important are management, sales, and developers. And final notes, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Every organization is different, and we cannot mitigate all risks.